Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
And my name is Grant Winterer.
Good to have you along, Grant.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
I don't know that we have worked together, just you and I, on the Breakfast Show.
I don't think so. I've been in this chair, though, a couple of times.
You have, yes. So, going to be fun.
It should be.
You're pouring yourself a cup of special coffee there?
Well, it's just Folgers, but I figured I should bring my own in so we don't have to ask people to bring coffee for us.
Oh, don't even go there, man. Don't even go there.
Spilling it all over the place anyway, shoot. Oh, man.
Oh, you had a spill.
Nice
I don't
start.
know.
Should just ask people to bring it. Leave it to the professionals, I guess.
Well, the only one that ever pulls through for us is Kristen.
Yeah.
All right. And my wife made a good point the other day. Why don't we ask Jeremy and Grant to bring us coffee, right?
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer.
Yesterday was a day set aside to honor all of our women across the world, actually. I saw where ESPN yesterday, the second year in a row they've done this. Most of their broadcasts, if not all their broadcasts yesterday, was all women.
That's pretty cool.
Right down to the camera people and sound people and the works.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a nice change of pace, I think.
Yeah, good way to highlight that they've got a lot of ladies that are doing things for them.
So then why didn't we send Christy and Shannon to state basketball?
That's a pretty complicated question, Grant. I would let's put it this way: we would have liked to.
Okay.
But I'll make a comparison.
Okay.
And to show you that we are fair-minded here, for between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't send myself as a guy to go do an important ball game or even one on the regular season if I could help it, because I am terrible at it.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that Christy and Shannon will be terrible at it, but they don't have a lot of experience.
Oh, I see.
Doing it. And so you wouldn't want to send an unexperienced announcer to a state basketball.
Sure. So it's a matter of resume, qualification, and experience. I get
Equal rights for one and all.
That's right.
And I'll tell you, if I went, that'd be the last game anybody ever listened to. That's just the hard facts. And the girls would probably get through it better than my old co-host Bob Bowles and I tried it once.
Oh yeah.
It was a disaster.
I heard some tells about you all.
It didn't work out real good. You need to remember the names of the players and where the quarterback is, and some finer details of the game, rather than just get up there and try to, buffalo your way through it. That doesn't work very well. And then we got in trouble with the refs afterwards at halftime.
Oh no.
Did some live reports from the restroom. It was.
Oh yeah.
We thought it was real funny, but didn't go over as well as we thought.
I think that's hilarious, actually.
Well,
the refs didn't like it.
Well, they didn't know. Yeah, it wasn't a good deal. It was a state playoff game, and we thought we'd be funny and go out on the field at halftime and interview the referees. Well, we had coveralls on and stocking cap. It was really cold.
Yeah. And
we were running around there like idiots, and we went up to them to ask for a comment, and the look we got was kind of like going in front of a firing squad.
Oof.
And we found out later that they weren't very happy with us. And Coach Seibert and Brent were very embarrassed. So that was our last attempt at that. I don't think that's going to happen again.
It went out with some kind of finesse, though. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, some kind.
Some kind, yeah. That's a word for it, yeah.
Oh, we got a good show lined up today. We're going to get the Clang gang in. Clang Financial are on our guest list. We'll also hear from Dave Davis Farmers National yet this half hour. And later on, we'll be visiting with, I believe, Matt with Subway here in Broken Bow. So those are our guests. We have a few things we're going to tell you about. Don't have any birthdays in from the local birthday list, and really don't have any significant birthdays to talk about from CBS today. They always send us a list of folks that they think are notables, and I honestly didn't see any here that would spin anybody's wheel here this morning, so I think we'll just skip the birthdays.
It's a quiet day for those being brought into the world, I guess.
Well,
March 9th.
maybe, or maybe they just didn't get the right list and we didn't get one. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is National Barbie Day
Oh.
today. Barbie Doll
Wow.
Day.
Yeah.
Brett and I were talking the other day. I think the Barbie doll, in fact, I know it is, it's right here, was created or born in 1959.
On March 9th.
Yes.
Well, happy birthday, Barbie.
Well, there you go. We have a birthday. What are we talking about? Still one of the best-selling toys in the world, by the way.
I'm sure, yeah. She's pretty thematic now. She's got an outfit for just about every kind of universe.
Yeah, any kind of look you want, you can get it from your Barbie doll. There's 60 million a year sold.
Wow.
Yeah. That's like about 100 Barbie dolls every minute.
Man.
We talked about this before, but it's still kind of fascinating. Barbie was designed by a former Pentagon engineer. Yeah.
Huh.
Unfortunately, kind of the shady side of this, the Pentagon engineer based the doll on German doll figures for adults.
Oh, I see.
But it was refined to be a children's doll.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't start out that way. Facts. And we don't fib on this show. We only bring facts. Nearly a third of Americans say they've used used to have a Barbie collection.
Wow.
Nearly a third of Americans.
That's 1 out of 3.
That's quite a few. 25% of Americans admit to cutting their Barbie's hair.
Oh, yeah, that old prank.
And 6% of Americans, I don't know where this comes from, say they used to chew on their Barbie's feet.
What?
Yeah. Don't ask me why or how they put this in there, but 6%.
So that's, I mean, what I'm thinking is that's only 6% admit to chewing on their Barbie's feet.
How true.
Yeah.
Could be a lot more than that.
It could be 1 out of 3. We don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know what. Well, when you're a kid, you'll chew on anything when you're
Right.
really little, but I don't think that would include babies. I mean, babies
No.
will chew on, when they're teething.
Yeah, babies don't know what they're chewing.
No, it wouldn't matter to them if it was a Barbie or a Beanie Baby.
Right.
I like this one. It's National Get Over It Day.
Heck yeah.
Invented in 2005 by some guy who was having trouble over his ex-girlfriend. Wow. Today, anyone with lingering bad feelings about an ex or an old boss, or I suppose even a current boss, are encouraged to do as they suggest and just get over it already.
All right. Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I wanted to make clear here this morning, since you're the co-host today, and we have certain guidelines and we have certain ethical things we like to meet here on the show each and every day. It's not nice to talk about people when they're not present, right?
Right.
So there's some things that I'm trying to get over with Brent.
Oh, sure.
So that if I start going there, would you steer me away?
I will do my best.
Because we're having a little problem in the neighborhood, and you're a neighbor.
Oh, yes. Yep. A little bit of a Hatfield McCoy situation brewing up that way.
Well, not so much like that. It's like we had these discussions this past few days about having a barbecue, and just through our conversation, it ended up that the barbecue would probably be best held in Brent's yard.
He's really generous with a lot of things like that.
He
I've
is.
noticed,
But
yes.
yesterday, he just bluntly said, "I'm not having it."
Out of nowhere.
And I don't know whether some of the recommendations I made, I suggested some of the food that they prepare, and I told them I was concerned about the cost, but I think they would get through it.
Oh, sure. Well, get over it day. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So get over it, Brent.
Well, I'm thinking if someone is listening, are they actually present, and does it count as talking behind their
Well,
back?
I'm just guessing, knowing Jeremy and Brent. It's 7:40. Their game is at 10:45, something like that today. The playoff game.
Yep.
Featuring SEM. Those guys probably are scurrying around, getting ready. They might go have a little breakfast. They'll get there really early and get set up for the ball game. So I'm not sure they're able to listen this morning. I mean, they could listen on their phones.
Oh, yeah.
Easy enough. They could listen to the breakfast show right now if they wanted to.
They could be tuned in right now.
But that's an ongoing situation. And on the other part of that, Grant, my wife has been talking to me about this situation where I should not be so aggressive about Brent having a barbecue at his house.
Mm-hmm.
But the deal is, they have a double garage.
Oh, yeah, 2 cars?
And if it rained and we were having a barbecue, we could just slide into their big garage.
Yeah.
We don't have that accessible. You don't.
I certainly don't. No.
Larry doesn't.
No.
And so it would just make sense to have it at their place.
You're swaying me here. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, I've moved a fair amount of barbecues from a yard to a big garage because of rain, and it's been a great time.
It's a lot of fun.
You almost have more fun in the garage.
You can.
Yeah.
But he seems to be against that, and he's concerned about the cost of the food and so forth. I told him I would help with 25%.
It's a good number.
I thought that was a good offer.
Yeah.
But we'll see where that goes.
All right.
If we're going to have a summer barbecue or not, or will it be at Brent's or not?
Like I'm
pushing
pins and
for it.
needles here.
Well, yeah, you're part of the neighborhood.
All right, I'm hungry, and that was the thing.
Speaking of that, let's take a look at the school lunch menus. I think yours are lined up over there for you.
A few
Yep.
over here.
I got them in one stack there, I think.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Since you're just filling in, I thought I would do some of the paperwork for you this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Brent usually does his in the morning, but since he's gone and probably getting his breakfast down right now, let's take a look.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Thedford today, and by the way, Thedford is starting at 10 a.m. today. Broken Bow schools are starting at 10 a.m. today, and Stapleton starting at 10 a.m. today. And in most cases, no morning preschool, no breakfast served, and buses will run accordingly. Those are the ones we have posted on Sandhills Express. Those are ones that we're aware of. Broken Bow and Stapleton and Thedford all starting at 10 o'clock. This morning, Thedford School will have lunch, so they're having barbecued pork sandwiches today.
Litchfield is offering a popcorn chicken bowl for lunch today.
That sounds delicious.
Heck yeah, it does. Hey.
Broken Bow Middle and High School today, fresh made spaghetti with breadsticks. They're also having chicken nuggets with garlic breadsticks, fresh baked ham salad subs, cottage cheese and fruit platter. Their grill station will feature the combo cheeseburger basket, vegetables, fruit, and milk.
Sergeant Public, a ham and cheese sandwich, chips, baked beans, a fruit cup, milk, and a salad bar.
Ansley today, they're having Chinese today.
Hey, all right.
That sounds good, yeah.
Sure does. Oh, just lost the page here. This will be Gothenburg
Right?
today. Super nachos, a fistada, pizza, a Swede chef salad, a Sweetable, and a deli sandwich.
And Anselmo Myrna Public Schools today, they're having some of the same entrees as Broken Bow. I think they use the same lunch service, so they're having fresh-made spaghetti and the chicken nuggets and fresh-baked ham salad subs, along with vegetables, fruit, and milk today at Anselmo Myrna.
Loop City Public Schools, spaghetti or chicken Alfredo, green beans, and breadsticks.
And the Prairie Pioneer Center today, this is a big day because it's Fried Chicken Day.
Whew.
Just as I say that, they've changed up the menu. Thursdays always used to be Fried Chicken Day at the Prairie Pioneer Center. Today, though, just as good. Country fried steak, mashed potatoes and gravy, scallop corn, dinner roll, and dessert. Call them at 872-6121. Let them know you're coming. They'll have a plate ready for you.
All right. And then finally here is Kozad. They'll have bacon mac and cheese with Italian bread, a barbecue chicken sandwich, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a cheese stick or baby carrots, a popcorn chicken salad with Italian bread and fresh fruit, garden salad, green beans, chilled fruit, and milk.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
In our chat box
Uh-oh.
from Jeremy Shipe,
I knew it.
we're listening.
I knew it.
Uh-oh.
Well, the good news is then you're not talking about anyone when they're not present.
Yeah, that's true. If Brent's listening, then it's okay. We can say what we feel, not hold back. I think 25% offer on the food is decent.
I want to know what they're gonna have for breakfast. We talked about lunch, but I would love to find out what they're gonna munch on here for the first most important meal.
Well, that is the important meal, so go ahead and dig in, boys. But I just want you to know that it'd be nice if you went through the economy line.
Maybe split a pancake.
Yeah, don't order up a big omelet. Go through the line. Get yourself some orange juice and toast. Cheers.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, we're wild about kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2023 Custer County Kids Fair is coming up, and it's a ways off on April 22nd. That's probably on a Saturday. It usually is. They haven't had it for a while. They went through COVID and all the different things, and they're bringing it back. Very popular day. This will be held at the Broken Bow Schools Activity Building on April 22nd from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., and is free for families.
Oh.
And what they're looking for right now is a little support, whether it be financial or maybe you'll volunteer to help set up some tables and so forth. Call them at 308-872-6540, extension 604, and let them know that you would like to help the Custer County early childhood community celebrating the Week of the Young Child by bringing back the Custer County Kids Fair, and that will be held on April 22nd. Good cause.
That'll be so cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. The kids have a great time, so do the parents and grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I would listen to your story this morning, and I read it concerning our Custer County Sheriff, Dan Osmond.
Yeah.
25 years of service.
Yeah.
Now, with all the news that's out there these days about conflict between citizens and law officials and so forth, what a nice story to read. What a nice story to tell, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We actually, when I was talking to Osmond yesterday, just kind of, getting the scoop, the inside skinny, one of the things we actually touched on was one of the things that we're both kind of grateful for in Custer County specifically is that there isn't that animosity or that tension between law enforcement and just, the regular Joes like you and me. I mean, coming from Omaha, there's of course a lot of that, and then other places that I've lived as well, there's like a lot of suspicion, and it seems like kind of an us versus them sort of mentality. But here it very much feels like everybody's on the same team, which is cool. Yeah,
it is nice. And Sheriff Osmond is a real even-keeled guy, and a fair guy. And his predecessor, Ted Henderson, the sheriff before him, was his mentor, and he set a great example. And so we've enjoyed about 50 years of that very sort of service, serve and protect, which is a controversy in other places. It is not always happening, and as you say, there's a barrier between the citizens and law enforcement in some places. We're lucky to have Sheriff Dan Osmond and his crew, which he mentioned, his deputies and staff, make it enjoyable to come to work each day, which is huge. So congratulations. And he's one of those guys that he'd probably prefer we're not even talking about it right now.
Yeah.
But he deserves some recognition, and Ted Henderson before him. We've enjoyed some great law enforcement and serving the public in Custer County for many years now. And they're proof, and Dan's proof, that you can be a sheriff and 90% of the people like and respect you if you're doing your job the way they've done it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's situations where there's law enforcement people who don't deserve that respect, but those guys and these law enforcement officials have done a great job for Custer County. So I'm glad you did that story, and I know there was other media that did it, but well written, of course, and fun to read. So
thanks. Yeah, it was awesome to do.
Yep. 10 minutes before the hour, we are going to play the game next, and I believe you've got the question there and a prize, which is
I think it's Subway Day today.
It is Subway today.
Free 6-inch subs. Just one. I said subs, I meant singular.
That's good to specify.
Yeah, because I don't want any controversy in that way.
Oh, just in, Jeremy Shipe, eating powdered eggs and drinking decaf.
There's a way to do it on a budget.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Save a little bit more money for the barbecue, huh?
Yeah, well, the KC and I KBBN cannot contribute to the barbecue. That's a private party.
All right. We got some questions here.
Yep.
Oh, here's one. To promote an end to the Vietnam War, what duo stayed in their bed at the Amsterdam Hilton for 4 days talking about peace to reporters from around the world in March of 1969? Is it A, Johnny Cash and June Carter, B, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, C, Sonny and Cher, or D, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell?
Well, all great couples, but...
Yeah, they're great. There's only one that matches this description.
Yes. And if you know, call us at 872-2801 and win yourself that sub prize, 872-2801.
Whether you're training for a marathon or spending all day on your feet, you shouldn't allow pain to slow you down. Pearson Physical Therapy is offering free stride assessments as well as foot, knee, and hip evaluations 8 a.m. to noon on Saturday the 18th. See their full range of custom foot orthotics, learn what shoe type is right for you, and hear how proper gait mechanics can help reduce your pain, improve your speed, and so much more. Saturday the 18th. Call to schedule your free 30-minute assessment at 308-872-5800 with Pearson Physical Therapy.
The list of songs about love is a long one. At KCNI KBBN, we love shopping local. Make sure you're listening to The Breakfast Show. Every single day, a new $25 gift card will be given away.
And that reminds us to remind you we'll be giving away later on in the show a $25 gift card to be used at the Dairy Queen here in Broken Bow. That will be a good one to win, so listen carefully. We've got Billy on the line. Good morning, Billy.
Hello, how are you, Dave?
We're doing good. How about you?
I'm good.
How's things been going? You been doing your exercises?
Yeah, I go to therapy every day, and then sometimes in the morning I call your wife and talk to her.
She tells me that she really enjoys the conversations, Billy, and it's probably going to get more intense now that baseball season's getting close.
And so yeah.
Yeah. So here's the question. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay.
To promote an end to the Vietnam War, what duo stayed in their bed at the Amsterdam Hilton for 4 days talking about peace to reporters from around the world in March of 1969? Was it A, Johnny Cash and June Carter, B, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, C, Sonny and Cher, or D, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell?
I'm going to take a wild guess, say John and June Carter Cash.
Oh, you're close. It was the other John.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Lennon and Yoko
No, they got
Ono.
good music, John and...
Yeah.
Well, John Lennon was a good singer.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
very good, very good.
Is he still alive, or is he...
No, unfortunately, he was assassinated, shot in 1980, early 80s. I don't know the exact date.
I don't know either.
Yeah. So, hey, Billy, thanks for calling, and
You bet.
take care of yourself, okay?
Okay, you do. Have a good day, Dave.
You too. All right, Billy. You're listening to The Breakfast Show on a Thursday.
Your mornings sound better.
If you're driving in the car on the way to work, it just makes your day more enjoyable just listening to them.
The Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
Yeah, this is Jim Eberle with Dave Davis Auction Service and Farmers National Company. Talking about a couple, 3 auctions that we have coming up here in March and the 1st of April. Anyway, the first one will be March 11th on Saturday at 9 o'clock. Joe and Deb Gransinger Retirement Auction. Folks, a lot of people driving in and around the equipment this last week, looking for a nice day on Saturday, of course, talking 50 degrees, so hopefully see a lot of people there, even just from the neighborhood. But anyway, there's several tractors on this auction. There's a John Deere 8520, John Deere 4960, John Deere 4955 that has an 843 loader and bucket and grapple, and a 4840 John Deere tractor, 2 4020 diesel tractors. One's got a year-round cab, one has just a roll bar. The one 4020 has an F258 loader with bucket and grapple. You got an 8530 John Deere tractor, a 7330 John Deere tractor, a small John Deere 70 wide front propane tractor, a little Ford tractor with a 7-foot bar mower, an M tractor with an F10 loader, grapple, and stuff with that also. You got 2 Orthman grain carts. You got a 544 John Deere E wheel payloader. It's got about 4,300 hours on it. Pretty nice unit. You got a John Deere 544 payloader with bucket and grapple that needs some work. You got a Mitsubishi propane forklift. It's got 8,000 pound capacity, side shift, new transmission. You got a John Deere 1770 no-till planter with tanks, Blue Jet Trackmaster, 2 Orthman cultivators, 9300s, 2 discs. One's a 32-footer, one's a 35-footer, both John Deere discs, 3-point gopher machine. You got a batwing mower that's a John Deere HX15, 2 John Deere balers. One's a 569 mega wide, the other's a 567 baler, a Vermeer 2800R rake, double arm Buffalo bale mover, 2 Clark forklifts that are not running. Joe used these for his Pioneer seed corn stuff. You got a 9,000 ag sprayer. You got a double seed tender. All kinds of equipment, folks. Also 2 10 by 20 open front sheds, Bosch loading chute, like brand new Pearson hydraulic chute, Foremost calf cradle, ranch hand hay buster processor, a Rotomix 4 feed mixer with a Digistar scale. Several vehicles on the auction. You got 2 semi-truck trailers or trucks. You got 2 trailers, Tempty trailers. You got a 65 Honda 90 motorbike, Honda 4-wheeler. Again, you got 2 grain trailers. You got a 75 blue Chevy Corvette 2-door coupe. All kinds of shop equipment. You got an oxyacetylene torch set, Millermatic 250 wire feed welder, hot seat power washer that's never been used. All kinds of antique items, folks. Gun. Also, just so you understand, on Saturday we will be running 2 rings with some of that smaller stuff. I think there's about 4 trailers, and then that hoop building has a clear full of antique type stuff. I'll probably go in there, or Dustin, and sell in there at the same time as we're selling shop stuff out on the other 3 trailers. But be sure to be there on time if you would. 9 o'clock start. A lot of stuff there. Make sure you're there early. And then back on March 18th, we have the Custer School auction. We'll have more on that next week, but a lot of memorabilia items on there, folks. Be sure to come to that. That's the Custer School auction, March 18th. Back on April 1st, we're going to have the machinery consignment auction out at the fairgrounds. If you want those things on the flyer, get the stuff into Kim at the office there by, I think it's the 13th, which is Monday. She may take some a little later than that, but make sure you get them into her as soon as possible to get them on the sale bill. Also, that one there, it'll be sure you're there April 1st again. This is Jim Eberly with Dave Davis Auction Service and Farmers National Company reporting for this week. Hope to talk to you again next week. Make sure you come to this Grand Singer Rhyme. So turn out and come and enjoy the day. Thank you. Bye.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. At least 6 people are reported dead after massive new Russian missile attacks across Ukraine. The BBC's James Landell is in Kyiv.
There have been some missile attacks in the southwest of the city. We think against energy infrastructure. The mayor has said that about 15% of residents have lost access to electricity, and it's a similar pattern in cities throughout the country.
Russia says it's retaliation for a Ukrainian attack in the Bryansk region. Californians bracing for new storms that could wash out all of the the snow that's fallen. CBS's Carter Evans is in the Sierra Nevada.
There is so much concern now that it could cause flooding downstream in lower-lying areas.
Norfolk Southern CEO is set to testify at a Senate hearing on the toxic train derailment in Ohio. Op management expert Greg DeYoung.
This has really served as a wake-up call, if nothing else, or certainly has put them on notice that they need to make some changes to the way that they're running their railroads.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, the new developer of the Conestoga Mall in Grand Island has officially signed Target as an anchor store. Records from the Hall County Register of Deeds indicate that Target will purchase part of the property with plans to build a new store on the south end of the mall. Target and Woodsonia 281 signed a purchase agreement last week. Last week, Hall County planning officials said Woodsonia would finalize the purchase of the mall property from its former owners, Namdar Realty Group. The Elkhorn Company has plans to remodel and rename the mall to the Conestoga Marketplace. They're planning on a more than $200 million redevelopment to the area, with plans to make the stores outward-facing as well as improving eating and entertainment options on the grounds and adding a hotel and housing. That's Nebraska News.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
News from college basketball, where Jim Boeheim is out as head coach at Syracuse after 47 seasons. The Orange losing in the opening round of the ACC tournament, ending the season 17-15. For Boeheim, he was hired as head coach at Syracuse in 1976. He guided the Orange to 1,015 wins, five Final Four appearances, and a national title in 2003. Colgate, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and Montana State all going to the NCAA tournament. They won their conference tournament titles. Checking major conference tournament results, ACC second-round winners were Wake Forest, North Carolina, NC State, and Pitt. Pac-12 first-round winners were Colorado, Washington State, Stanford, and Arizona State. Big Ten first-round winners were Ohio State and Minnesota. Big 12 first-round tournament winners, Oklahoma State and West Virginia, and SEC first-round winners, LSU and Ole Miss. In the NBA, the Nuggets up for a rare home loss, losing to the Bulls 117-96. Celtics beat the Trailblazers 115-93.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Snow showers likely early on today, then a slight chance for some freezing rain showers with our high nearing 35. Mostly cloudy overnight tonight with a low around 18. Staying cloudy throughout Friday with our high nearing 37 and mostly cloudy and 29 throughout Friday night. South winds between 15 and 25 and gusting as high as 40. Staying cloudy on Saturday as well with a high of 46 and partly cloudy and 22 throughout Saturday night and sunshine on Sunday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Kara Foster.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
8:04, 24 degrees outside. It's been 24 all morning long, so a steady temperature with a cloudy sky over the top. When we first got up this morning and went out to the car, there was that heavy layer of ice on the windows, which, I don't know, yesterday I went out and started the car. For some reason this morning I didn't. I don't know why, because there was more heavier ice this morning than yesterday. So you're probably scraping some ice out there. You're going to be a little slick underfoot too, I think. Did you notice that?
Oh, it was nasty.
Yeah.
Like surprisingly so. I was not expecting it, but yeah.
Yeah, be careful. Winds out of the north 5 to 15, most times 5 to 10. Barometric pressure slowly rising at 30-15. Humidity at 93%. High yesterday was 30 with an overnight low of 24. Sunset today at 6:37. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And just a trace of precipitation. Tried to melt down enough to get 1/100ths, but couldn't do it at 7 this morning. We have had a little bit of light covering of snow with that ice, so it's a mix. And they're still predicting the possibility of 1 to 2 inches of snow today. We'll wait and see if that happens or not, but we do know that ice is under there, and if it stays in the 20s, it's going to be a little slick. Due to that, a few schools that we're aware of are starting at 10. That will be the Broken Bow schools with a 10 o'clock start, Stapleton Public Schools, 10 a.m. start, and the Thedford Public Schools with a 10 o'clock start. There may be others. I know a lot of you get notifications on your phone now from your particular school, but those are the ones we have that have posted on Sandhills Express closing page. So that's the information there. Did receive word from James Klang that they will be unable to make it in today due to the change of schedule and late start for the schools. That changes their life up a little bit with family, so they're going to reschedule and come in hopefully next week, and we'll catch up with Stephanie and James next time around. And we'll also expect to hear from Matt. Matt may be a little late getting in today from Subway, depending on what the highways are like out there. Don't know for sure. I didn't find it very slick on the way out on the highway, but it can change real quick out there. Shelter Belt, a bridge, any of those places where you normally think it's going to be a little slicker, please slow down a little bit.
That's right, especially if it's going to stay in the 20s like it has all morning.
Yep, it's going to steadily be a little slick out there today, and that's the way it is in March of 2023.
Yes,
now,
that's right.
This is a chance, since we have a little extra time today, to ask you some questions.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, grill me.
Okay. What's your thoughts now that you've been here for how many months? First of all, how many?
It's 9. This is month number 9.
9 months.
Yeah.
And you were living in Omaha. You've also lived, where else?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, that's right. So those are quite a bit different than Custer County, Nebraska. People have enjoyed your writing and the stories you've been providing. And it is a quick way as a newcomer to really dive into the communities because you're covering them.
Yeah.
What's your assessment of Custer County so far? And I don't expect you to, I guess, reveal every thought you have. But what's your overall umbrella thought on it?
I think this is a remarkable place, to be totally honest. I've had a couple of friends who've come out to spend weekends or just a little bit of extended time, and I mean, every single one of them, when I send them back, they're like, I can't believe that this exists here. You know what I mean? I mean, we'll just drive around. Me and a friend went up to Arnold to play some golf over the summer, and they still compare what they saw up there to Sicily,
really?
like Italy. And it's you see it and you're like, well, yeah, there's the hills and everything like that, and then these trees. It's very it's beautiful in that way.
See, that's what happens. I think we all know this. But where we live, sometimes we forget to take a look. Now, the Arnold Golf Course kind of can relate to what you were saying there, because I used to golf over there a lot, and sometimes I go over on the weekend and meet friends, and once in a while myself and play, even 18 holes by myself over there. And I just would stop every once in a while and go, this is the coolest terrain here, because you have those canyons, the hills out there that are backgrounding everything, and a little creek that runs through there. And that's just one example.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, I mean, shoot, even hitting the Callaway Road, you're kind of going over these sort of hills, and then you hit that big one, and you, right at the peak of the hill as you're going down, it just, everything opens. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you just can see forever, and it's all these beautiful. I mean, there's these sand hills, these bluffs, these remarkable, just features of terrain that you're like, my gosh, and it goes on forever. It's beautiful, especially when the sun's going down.
Right.
Oh man, it hits the grass in such a way, glows. Man, it's something else. It's something else.
Well, I know that you've been in that area, so I'll ask you, have you driven the road from Arnold to Highway 2 near Dunning, which would be the Sork Road?
No, but it's always pointed out to me.
Yep.
Whenever we're going up that area or that direction for like covering sports or something.
I always recommend this to people visiting or newcomers. If you get a chance, take some time. So you don't want to go too fast on that road because the curves are unreal. I still can't believe how fast they drive on that for Sork.
Yeah.
But if you want to make imprint in your mind as to what, you're on in Arnold, you're in Canyon, they have the Big Devil's Den and all of that canyon country, and then that wide open space you're talking about. But if you head down that road towards Dunning, you're just actually driving out of that canyon country right into the sandhills. And it's a transition that if you just take your time and drive, you're seeing, the canyon country evolve into the sandhills. And if you go the other direction, there's a lot of canyon country around Callaway, the Seven Valleys area, beautiful. And if you go east in Custer County, you have a whole new view of landscape as well. It's really pretty up in northeast Custer County and northern Custer County, a lot of trees and canyons up that way. Down south, they have the rolling hills, the beautiful pastures that hardly have any trees on them. So go any direction, you'll see something different. I think that's what most people who drive down the interstate don't get, right?
For sure. It seems to me like the assumption is that it's all going to look like central Kansas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like fields and flat landscape.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that at all.
Yeah. And I guess the next question would be the people that are on the ground that are in these locations have been friendly to you?
Absolutely. Every single one of them. Which is really nice. Yeah.
That makes me feel bad. I guess I've been here long enough. I don't have any friends. And for some reason, when I walk in, people run away. I don't know what I'm just kidding, actually. Living here, the only thing we always say when we have guests come in and we tell them, if you're going to the grocery store with us, plan on it taking 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you're not going to come around a corner that you don't meet somebody that you stop and visit with. That's pretty unusual in other places, I imagine.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I'll run into friends occasionally back in Omaha in particular, just because, we go to the same grocery store because we live in proximity, but that's, if you were to go, I don't know, shoot to a grocery store 15 minutes away, you wouldn't see anyone that you knew.
Yeah. There's a kind of a little something that I find interesting and I understand more and more as life goes along is the older you get or the longer you live in an area like this or a combination thereof, you really hate standing in line.
Yeah. I'm sure you get over the thrill of that real quick.
I'm sure our listeners out there can relate. You love going to the city and love going to exciting things that the city offers. But I don't think any of us in this part of the country like standing in line. We're just not used to it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's so funny because so much of that kind of urban living is actually just waiting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone's in a hurry to wait. Like traffic, parking, I mean, standing in line, like all of it. It's just like a matter of like, hurry up because I have to wait for my next thing.
Yeah.
Another
thing that is much different is I think in the cities, in more metro areas, you have to plan a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you're going to go do something, you got to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make previous arrangements, maybe for a ride or how long it's going to take you to get there, parking when you get there, the correct ticket to get into this particular event. And here in Custer County, you go, well, let's go.
Yeah, right. We'll get there and it'll happen.
Yeah. We'll be fine. Let's just all hop in and go.
Yeah.
And that's a real luxury that we don't appreciate here sometimes, I think. We were in Chicago in October, I believe it was, and we were going to meet our son and his family, his wife's family, at a restaurant, and he had made our son had made a mistake on the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we think we're fine. We're going to kind of get up and, then we'll get a cab. We'll call and get a cab or an Uber and a Lyft, and then we'll go to that. Well, then he calls, says, "Where are you?"
Oh, no.
And we're going, "Well, we're just getting ready to make arrangements to leave." And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's my fault, but I give you an hour. The time was wrong by an hour. We're already here." And so in the city, what do? There was not a lot of cabs in that area. And we got lucky because a cab driver happened to be on his way back to his headquarters. He was done, and he saw us waving, trying to get a cab.
Yeah.
And he was a real nice older gentleman who pulled up, and he says, "Yeah, I'll take you." It was a cash deal, by the way.
Yeah, under the table. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'll take you. But you wouldn't do that. Here you just say, "Well, hold on, we'll hop in the car and
we'll get there."
We'll get there.
Yeah.
If you don't have a car in the city, you can pull that off to a certain degree. But if you do have one, then you have to have parking and all of those things that we just don't think about here.
Yeah, it's wild. It's totally different.
Yeah.
Now,
when you were in Omaha, did you have an apartment there?
I had an apartment.
And so did you have parking in a building or on the street?
It was a pretty quiet street.
Okay.
So I actually, would be able to park along the street there, but I know that several other folks in the building had either garage spaces or parking spaces.
And of course, I know that in Chicago, you want to be careful about that situation like you were in, because even though they aren't marked, some people believe it is their spot, right?
Oh, yeah. I've definitely ticked off a couple of neighbors just for that reason. Like guys who've been living there for like 30, 40 years in the same apartments. They're like, "This is where my car goes." It's city ordinance.
But, sir, that's why they call it public parking.
Yeah, right. I'm like, it's the street.
Yeah. Those are just little things, things. Well, I'm glad you like it here, and hope we'll continue to enjoy it. Both have their advantages.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Really, I love going to larger places, but I'm only good for about 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I got to get out where I can see the sky and see around a little bit. But, for I guess my oldest son's an example. As soon as he got out of high school, he went to Kansas City, to Seattle, to Chicago, and he never has any intentions. He's only good for about 3 days here.
Yeah. Some different strokes, different people, I guess.
Yeah. So it's great you're here, and thanks for helping me with the breakfast show.
Hey, no problem. My pleasure.
All right, let's see here. We got some good mornings from Denise and Carol this morning, and of course Jeremy earlier. I guess they're done with their powdered eggs now. And their decaf. They're probably getting ready to take off and get over to the location.
Game's about 2 hours away.
Yeah, let's see here. It starts at 10:45. Sumner Eddyville Miller takes on Osceola at the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln at 10:45. The guys will go on ahead of that, of course. They're excited about it. I think SEM sent their girls and now their guys.
That's right.
That's pretty amazing.
It's very cool.
I think they should be proud of that. And Sumner Eddyville Miller schools, sometimes they struggle with the numbers, like a lot of schools do these days in this rural area, but they always have very competitive teams, whether they have a winning record or not. They're just that kind of kids.
Yeah. Didn't they have like a heck of a football team this year?
Yes.
Is that my understanding? Yeah.
And it wasn't that many years ago that they were just struggling and had not very many players and had a couple injuries and just made the season, finished the season, and here they are with a good football team, good girls and boys basketball team, good volleyball and basketball. So they're quite the folks at SEM, and they're our neighbors. A lot of SEM folks come up here and work, so we have that connection. But we wish them the very, very best. And of course, you want to go down and have a real good meal. You go down to the good restaurant down there, Tubbs Pub. And
I've yet to go.
Well, some people here go weekly. They go
I
down.
gotta
That's
start making that a
It's an
habit.
annual event. They go down, or weekly event, or
Yeah.
go down once a month or whatever. And they're great folks there, and we wish them the best of luck. I know we've had great sponsorship for this. The guys are excited about covering it, and you'll hear it right here on your Husker and High School Sports Connection, 95.3 FM, and online at kvbn.com. That was a promo.
Oh, it sounded great.
You can always get in a promo in this business.
Take a note here.
I'm going to step out on a limb here. I know folks out there have particular artists they like, both on the rock side or country side, and we're lucky to be able to present both to our audiences out there. But I don't know if this has ever happened to you folks or to you, Grant, but sometimes you don't know. I don't know much about this particular artist, and then you hear a song that really clicks for you.
Yeah.
And then you dive in a little bit and you listen to some of their other work that they've done, and you go, hey, this guy or gal fits my ticket. I like their sound. One of those on the countryside is Luke Combs.
Okay.
I played one of his songs this morning that kind of turned me on to him, and I thought we might feature a couple of Luke Combs songs today.
Sweet.
And if you have a particular artist that you'd like featured, since you're the co-host, and I don't usually let Brent do this, because I'd like to tell him when he gets back that you were able to select some songs.
Oh, yeah.
Because with Brent, we worked together long enough. I know he's going to say, well, let's hear some Don Williams. Because he's a big Don Williams fan. And I am too. I like Don Williams. But you think about it.
I will. I'll turn that one over in the old thinker.
Okay. Yet to come, though, we've got some things we're going to tell you about, and that chance to win that $25 gift card to the Dairy Queen for our Love Local shopping promotion. And by the way, we're going to go all the way through, it looks like the 22nd of March. This started out as an idea a few years ago, and now we have all these businesses who say, you bet, we'll promote local shopping and local businesses all over our listening area. So now we're doing it for 2 months.
Yeah, which is great.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll take a time out. We'll come back after these words.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
Geared for Sports and Broken Bow loves cookies, and right now they will share their cookies with you. For every $50 purchase you make, you will get a box of Girl Scout cookies in support of our local Girl Scouts. Time to gear up now for track, baseball, and softball, whether you're an athlete or a fan. Remember, if they don't have it, talk to Scott, and he'll try to get it for you. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturdays, 10 to 4. Geared for Sports, on the square in Broken Bow.
Ag producers, March 10th is the last day to save money by prepaying for alfalfa seed from Arrow Seed. Act now to save 4%. Choose from L457 HT Plus, the newest generation of highly digestible, high-yielding, disease-resistant alfalfa. Economical Big Red 3, a blend of high-yielding, winter-hardy alfalfa with great forage quality, or any of the other 10 varieties Arrow Seed has to offer. Act before March 10th to save on your spring alfalfa seed. Learn more at arrowseed.com.
Madrid, Nebraska, and they are proudly serving Dark Canyon coffee daily. It's always a great place to shop for gifts for all ages and, of course, yourself. And it's a great gathering place for friends and family. Follow them on Facebook to keep up on all the latest happenings at Brewbaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold. Coffee with a friend is always a good idea.
Very good, and it's a very wonderful building. If you've been in it, you know what they've done inside. It's amazing, but it is still a historic structure right there on the business main street of Arnold, Nebraska. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, sure is.
It's
hey,
nice. Lucky to have it here in the county.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, quick time out. We'll be back with more information. First, these words.
Gary Superfoods in Broken Bow. Online at GarySuperfoods.com. Right now, save on bone-in pork rib chops at $1.99 a pound. USDA Choice Boneless Beef Chuck Roast is $4.99 a pound, as well as 93% lean ground beef. Delicious sweet strawberries or blackberries are 2 for $5, and so are 5-pound bags of Idaho Russet, North Dakota red or yellow potatoes. Our family peanut butters are 2 for $4. Gary Superfoods, South B Street in Broken Bow.
Anytime is a great time to save in all departments at Varney Health Mart in Broken Bow with their in-store circular. Packages of motion sickness tablets are $3.99, and to settle your stomach and acid chewable tablets are also $3.99. 120-count tablet aspirin is $4.99, or pick up acetaminophen 100 counts for $8.99. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday from 9 until 1. Varney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
8:31. We have Matt on the line from Subway. Good morning, Matt. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. Thanks for calling in and hooking up with us. Did you drive up this morning?
No.
Okay.
No, I was like, I got to drive to Broken Bow and then to Holdridge. And I'm like, I'm going to skip Broken Bow.
Well, probably a fair idea today. It might be a little slick out there. Did you guys get some moisture down your way?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And I'm doing about 50 down the highway, so.
Okay. So that tells us something. If Matt's going 50,
right.
It might be kind of slick. So,
just a little bit.
Yeah. So how's things going at your Subway?
Really good.
Good.
Starting to get a staff built up. Still looking for a couple more people, but we're getting more people, staff there, so we can get the service times down a little faster.
Good. I believe we may have spoke to a young gal that's working here in Broken Bow that you've promoted up just a little bit yesterday to some management activities, which is good to see.
Yep.
That's good. But you got a few more spots open. How flexible are you on the positions? Can you fit them in a day or two, or how's that work?
Yep. If somebody wants a job just a day or two or 3 days, however many days you want to work, we will work around your schedule. We're real flexible with school activities, so if you're a high school student in sports, we do work around those just to get you a job and get you some training on how to deal with people.
That sounds great. It's a face-to-face job because they stand right there and visit as they have their sandwiches put together, which is cool in a lot of ways. A lot of people love to see the meal made in front of them for obvious reasons. Watching the folks put their gloves on and putting together a nice sandwich made from fresh goodies. It's been a success story and continues to grow. I mean, all the sandwiches that you guys offer now, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I think it's over 1 million different types of sandwiches we can make.
Wow. Well, you take all the ingredients and let the customer decide how they're going to put them together, and that's what you end up with, I guess. Wow. Yeah, that's great. The new sandwiches, I know we talk about them a lot, but boy, do we see a lot of promotion on them on TV with big basketball stars and all kinds of celebrities. And I have to kind of think about it from a media point of view. If they're able to pay those stars that kind of money to do a 30-second TV ad, you must be selling a lot of sandwiches, right?
Yes, we are.
And because of them, you're going to be selling more sandwiches than ever before, because these really hit the mark. I mean, people are just loving the new selection.
Right. The new Subway series is a really big hit, but there's also a hidden menu in the app,
which you've talked about before, which I have not checked out.
Is all the professional athletes' favorite sandwiches.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
Have you checked it out, Grant?
I have not. This is the first that I'm hearing about it.
You just go to the apps. You just download the app and take a look.
Yep.
All right. Is there a discount with those, or any added features along with them?
If you order online through the app, there's always ways to save money. Like 1 month they did a buy one get one footlong free. Right now I don't know what it is. I haven't got a notification to my phone from that app yet, but I believe it's buy one get something off of the second one.
Okay, so it's worth downloading the app. It doesn't cost anything to do that. Also, the advantage, Grant and I were just talking about, we don't like to stand in line in this part of the country. And I know you well enough, Matt, now that you're not one of the guys that likes to stand in line either. And with the app, you can avoid that, right?
Right, because we spend. I remember hearing an article that we spend like a third of our life waiting.
Oh my gosh.
That's so frustrating.
Right. So a third of your life, you're sitting around waiting for something. So with the app, you don't have to wait no more.
Right. It's there when ready to go. When you get there, you just politely walk by the line and go to the cash drawer, right?
There's a stand past the chip rack, and all the sandwiches that are online orders are right there. We have their cups there. There's a napkin dispenser there so everybody can get napkins. And then if you want to change your chips that you ordered because they don't have the brand on the app, you're more than welcome to.
Nice.
Okay. Boy, that sounds good. Sounds great. Some of the things that we probably don't mention as much as we should, Matt, is the other options, the wraps, the salads. Those are huge for you. And then also the breakfast menu is not only very tasty, it's very affordable.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I wish our guys that are in Lincoln covering the state tournament would have went to a Subway and got in line for a breakfast sandwich. It would have been a lot more affordable than I think where they went, Matt. I'm worried about the actual budget on this. If they would have went to Subway, we'd be under budget.
Right, because, you can get a 6-inch breakfast sandwich and a small drink, and I think it's under $5.
Come on.
You can't get anything for under $5 anymore.
Really?
Right.
That's amazing. It used to be, $2.50 was, a real bargain. Now $5 is a real big bargain with the cost of food and so forth. So it's affordable, it's fresh, it's tasty, and you always mention that after you eat at Subway, you don't feel like taking a nap, right?
Right.
Yeah. Don't put anything in a fryer.
Right.
Okay. All right. Anything else you wanted to mention, Matt, that we didn't ask you about this morning?
Come on in and warm up with a bowl of soup and a hot toasted sandwich.
That sounds good. It's always good to hear from you. Drive safe, and
I will.
We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Matt. All right. Matt's traveling. He not only is owner of stores, he's also the maintenance guy, and he travels all over and takes care of the ice machines and does a great job, and doing a great job here in Broken Bow. And this is not, how do I want to put this? This is just fact. The restaurant business was no picnic the last few years, whether it be a walk-through business like Subway, or you can sit down, or a full cafe, whatever the case may be. It just wasn't that much fun going through COVID and coming out, and all the help situation and people changing their habits. And I think finally things are getting closer to normal.
Bit of stability, yeah. Rolling out the rest of the tables and letting people sit closer together, which is so important.
Yep. Have you noticed, by the way, Grant, in large places, small places, medium-sized places, it wasn't that long ago that we had to stand 6 foot apart. We wouldn't shake hands because we were told not to.
Yeah.
No hugging.
Which I know you're a big hugger.
I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
Don't breathe on anybody. So the masks were recommended. Washing your hands about every 5 minutes. Now some of that we should still be doing.
Yeah, washing the hands regularly.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the healthy thing it's just like what we should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Joan and I just went to Denver to a Bruce Springsteen concert. You're shoulder to shoulder with people. You're talking to people. You see people hugging one another, including Bruce Springsteen and his band, and you're going, it's all off. It's all full steam ahead. And I think even the good news is when people now are getting COVID due to a lot of different reasons, and I don't even want to go there because of politics, a lot of people don't get as sick as they did with the first variants of COVID, that they were deadly to start with. When you think about it, it was really weird. And I don't know what it was like for you, but, I remember having a neighbor say, listen, I've got this item, won't go into a long story about it, but that I want you to try to see if you can find an owner of. It was dropped on the highway on Party Line. He says, but do you mind me leaving it here? Mind me having it in your possession? Because I don't know where, who's touched it and where it come from.
Yeah.
Wasn't that weird?
That is a little odd.
I mean, it was weird that you were because when they first started, it was more of a warning about contact with your hands and people were like Steve out at the grocery cart. He spent the first 2 hours of his early morning bleaching the handles on the store and on the carts. And then they finally decided maybe it wasn't so much of a contact, it was airborne, and so the rules kind of changed. But what was kind of weird when you went to get gas, and you're going, well, maybe I should have gloves on. This somebody with COVID might have had the hold of this gas handle.
And picking out produce actually was the one for me that got me, because I was like, I like to handle it. But then I had to rely on my eyes completely because, I'll be honest, I'm not gonna wear gloves inside of a grocery store or carry a spray bottle of disinfectant. I don't handle the produce, but I had to do it by eyesight. Had to kind of eyeball what peppers were superior.
I think the longer we get past this, and hopefully we don't ever see something like that again. I know they're trying to figure out how it happened and all of that. But when you look back, after a while, some of that even seemed normal.
Yeah.
It went long enough that it seemed normal. And we look at it now, looking backwards through that window, and it's weird.
It is weird.
I mean, it was strange. We worked here in shifts so that if somebody came down with COVID, we could still stay on the air. And that's what a lot of businesses did. The senior care side of things, it was awful. You had family that couldn't go in and see their family members, and that was tough on everybody. It was weird.
It was a weird time. I'm glad we're getting over it. It's getting over it day.
It is.
Right?
Let's get over it. Get over it. That's right, man. Good segue to Luke Bryan. Here we go. Luke Bryan, that's called Fast. We're playing Luke's today. We're playing Luke Combs and Luke Bryan, or we are to this point. Now we're going to be leaving it up to my co-host, Grant.
Oh, man.
For a artist selection in the 9 o'clock hour.
All right, very cool.
So you'll be thinking about it.
Hard and fast deadline.
All right, yeah, that's the way that works. Now, Sylvester's in Broken Bow. I think there's a sheet in there on Sylvester's, but I can kind of get it started, Grant. Every once in a while, they have karaoke, and it's your chance to go out and listen to people perform. You can just do that. You can bring friends and get up on stage together. You can do duets, trios, or all by yourself. And there's a lot of people who love to get up and let it go all by themselves as well. It makes for a great show and a good time.
Absolutely. I was actually at the last one.
Were you?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they
didn't sing, but I heard a remarkable rendition of "Only the Good Die Young" by Billy Joel.
Wow.
Astounding. Like really, really good.
Isn't it amazing when you have somebody off the street, I guess is the way to put it, that can walk in and nail one like that?
Yeah, just like got up there and was like, okay, we're doing it. And then it was, everyone was mesmerized. So, you know what they say. Those who sing together stay together.
Sure they do.
They do. And karaoke, as you mentioned, is this Friday once again at Sylvester's in Broken Bow. What happens at karaoke stays at karaoke, though I kind of leaked the Only the Good Die Young, but
well, that's all right. That's a little teaser.
Go and have some fun and belt it out. Come on, Virginia.
Yeah.
The singing starts at 9. Show up then or show up early and build up your courage at Sylvester's. The quiet little place.
That rocks!
Nice.
More right after these words.
It's tuxedo time. The south side of the square is where you should be going if you want to look dapper. Head to Chapin's and Lola will get you fitted for the perfect style and color to match that awesome personality of yours. Each time you rent a tux, $10 goes to your after prom party. Right now is also the perfect time to register for weddings that are right around the corner. Get your tuxes at Chapin's Furniture in Broken Bow.
The list of songs about love is a long one.
All I wanna do is eat, sleep, love you, repeat. Hey, people, loving people, baby, be my love song, baby, be my all night long.
At KCNI KBBN, we love shopping local. Make sure you're listening to The Breakfast Show. Every single day, a new $25 gift card will be given away.
The morning Sandhills Drive never sounded so good.
In the mornings, we don't have to fight over the radio because it's one station.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show.
All right, thank you very much, Shelley. This is a particular song that kind of got me going on Luke Combs. Played it earlier this morning, but I think I'm going to play it again. It's got such a nice story to it, and I know you like stories.
I love stories.
This is it's not a typical country song because it has some of the elements in it that you hear all the time with country songs, which of course are trucks and dirt roads and beer.
Yeah, heck
things
yeah.
like that. But this is a little bit more of a life story.
Okay.
So it's called When It Rains, It Pours.
Sunday morning, man, she woke up fighting mad.
Luke Combs, when it rains, it pours. Kind of like that story.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, but it's lifelike.
Yeah, it's true. There's truth to it.
You know, if you win a little money, you go buy a 6-pack of beer, you know?
Darn toot, man. No better way to spend it than on friends, right?
That's right. Let's take a look here at some things that are on schedule. I wanted to tell you about the Knights of Columbus Fish Fry, and I know, Grant, you've had that on news articles because this is the season. Knights of Columbus Fish Fry in Callaway tomorrow at the Callaway Community Center from 5:30 till 7 p.m., and that is always worth going to. Delicious fish and a whole lot of good people. And tomorrow, by the way, since we're talking about Friday, we'll be giving away a Love Local $25 gift card to the Broken Bow Golf Club, which can be used this spring. And also a reminder, daylight savings time.
Sunday, right?
Yeah.
The 12th.
The 12th. So when you go to bed Saturday night, move those clocks forward 1 hour. I don't think there's as many clocks to move forward as there used to be, but you still might have, I know we've got a grandfather clock up on the wall and a few other things. Out here at the station, it used to be quite an event to come out here and change all the equipment, and we had a time clock. And,
cool.
You know, it was quite a deal. Now you come out and there's like 2 clocks on the wall and change the transmitter clock, and that's it.
Does it automatically a lot of the times.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff does.
Yeah.
But whatever doesn't, you'll want to set those before you go to bed on Saturday night beyond daylight's savings time. Brent is usually about this time getting itchy.
Is he?
Yeah, he gets restless about just before 9 o'clock.
I think they make a cream for that.
Yeah, they do, and he needs it. I don't know what it is, about just before 9, he starts picking his fingers and getting itchy.
Antsy, kind of.
Yeah, but you seem calm.
I'm pretty calm, yeah.
Yeah. So since you're so calm, you want to talk a little bit about Nebraska Land Hearing Center?
I would love to.
I think it's in the stack there.
It sure is. This has to do with our friend Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Who is a board-certified hearing instrument specialist with over 30 years of experience and lives right here in Broken Bow. So she is local and provides dependable service.
Right.
Maybe. Free hearing evaluation and free office calls, free extended warranties on new hearing aids, and extended discounts just for buying local. Additional discounts include those for new patients, and you can receive chamber bucks with every purchase of new hearing aids. Also, Roxanne will do a custom fitting for in-ear hearing aids that are rechargeable. Wow. And as if that was not enough, she now accepts credit cards, which enables you to finance hearing aids for over a period of time with lower payments. Just ask Roxanne all about it, and you can do so by calling her at 308-384-3852.
And she shares the office space with the Broken Bow Chamber of Commerce on the east side of the square, and I know her name is on the glass there if you want to drop by. If she's not there, they're pretty good about leaving a message for Roxanne or give her a call, as you say. One more Luke song, this time Luke Bryan, and then next half hour it'll be Grant's decision.
Oh boy.
This one's called Light It Up on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Luke Bryan on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show, lighting it up here on this snowy morning. As we look outside, we see the snow coming down pretty darn good right now, and it's going to accumulate. We'll probably be able to measure some precipitation out of it. They're talking about 1 to 2 inches possible today.
Yeah.
It's getting a good start, isn't it?
It sure is, yeah. It's ahead of the game.
I was just thinking a moment ago about Brent getting kind of itchy and unsettled just before 9.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I know why.
Oh, why?
I think he's had enough of me by then.
Oh, he's like the patience is worn thin.
Yeah, he can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
He has to kind of regroup for the last half hour. How are you feeling? Okay?
I'm all right, yeah.
Okay.
Trying to find another cup of coffee around here.
That's what I'm going to do.
Shoot.
Gosh, it'd be nice if Christy would bring us a cup, but we know that won't work. News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KPBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. At least 6 people have been killed in a massive Russian missile attack across Ukraine. CBS's Holly Williams.
President Volodymyr Zelensky said residential buildings were hit in 10 different regions and said, quote, they won't avoid responsibility for everything they've done.
The grid operator says Europe's largest nuclear plant, Zaporizhzhia, is up and running again. Weekly jobless claims have jumped to the biggest number in 5 months. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick.
It does appear that some of the recent job cuts and layoff announcements are finally catching up to new and continuing claims for unemployment benefits.
Lawmakers in Washington warned hackers may have stolen sensitive personal information in a breach of a D.C.-based health insurance marketplace. Analyst Alan Liska.
In this case, you also have to worry not just about cyber criminals that may be interested in this, but nation-state actors that may be interested in this as well.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Kevin Wyatt.
College basketball tournament season in full swing, and on Wednesday night, Colgate, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Montana State all punched their tickets to the big dance by winning their conference tournament titles. As for the major conference tournaments, the second round in the ACC saw Wake Forest, North Carolina, NC State, and Pitt all advance, and the first round in 4 other of the major conferences, the Pac-12, it was Colorado, Washington State, Stanford, Arizona State advancing to the second round. In the Big Ten, it's Ohio State, Minnesota. The Big 12, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. The SEC, LSU, and Ole Miss. As for the World Baseball Classic, Japan beats China 8-1 to open day 2 of group play. Italy currently leading Cuba 8-2. That game has reached the 9th inning. In the NBA Wednesday night, the Nuggets suffer a rare home loss as they fall to the Bulls 117-96, just the 5th loss in 35 home games for Denver this season.
Here's your weatherology forecast. A winter weather advisory is currently in effect until early this afternoon. Snow showers likely early on today, then a slight chance for some freezing rain showers with our high nearing 35. Mostly cloudy overnight tonight with a low around 18. Staying cloudy throughout Friday with our high nearing 37 and mostly cloudy and 29 throughout Friday night. South winds between 15 and 25 and gusting as high as 40. Staying cloudy on Saturday as well with a high of 46. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Kara Foster.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Boy, do I hate that commercial. 24 degrees. 24 degrees and snowing here at Broken Bow. Winds out of the north 5 to 10. Barometric pressures at 30-16 and rising. Humidity at 93%. High yesterday was 30 with an overnight low of 24. Sunset today at 6:37. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. sharp. a trace of precipitation as of 7 o'clock this morning, but since that time, the snow has gotten started and it's coming down pretty hard right now. So we're going to be picking up some more moisture out of that. And it's getting white out there.
It sure is.
So let me check here. I had some things. Oh, this one I think you're going to want to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
98-year-old woman welcomes her 230th grandkid.
Oh, I saw a picture of this.
You did?
Yeah, there's a photo out there of 6 generations of human beings, like in one frame, and it's mind-blowing.
That's crazy.
It's like a Kentucky thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many, the number was in the 200s kind of deal?
She has, let's see here, 98-year-old woman has to try to keep more than 230 grandkids straight. Cordelia May Hotkins is from Kings Mountain, Kentucky, and just welcomed her 231st grandchild. Now, technically, it's her great-great-great-granddaughter. She's been married 3 times, so in addition to her 231 grandkids,
oh man,
she has another 392 stepchildren for a grand total of 623.
That's I mean, goodness, they're a state in themselves.
Yes, sir. Let's see, that's twice as big as some of our communities in Custer County.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing. And that's just one. Imagine the reunions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try funding that barbecue.
Oh, boy. Think about that, Brent. If you're listening, think you got a bad in the neighborhood? Oh. All right, another one I think you might find interesting. You may have read this one. A man is ordered to pay his ex-wife $200,000 for unpaid housework.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. On International Women's Day, which was yesterday, a court in Spain ordered a man to pay his ex-wife $215,000 for 25 years of unpaid housework. The court called it, quote, domestic labor, and he was ordered to pay her a monthly pension for all the time she spent working for him. It now sets a new European standard for housewives and house husbands that are thinking about suing for all that cooking and laundry they did all those years.
Man, it's always about the money.
Good grief. I'm thinking, uh-oh.
I mean, I'm wondering, I'm wondering how I can go after exes and how they can get after me for this and be locked up in the courts for the next 10 years.
Do you have to be an ex to do that? I mean, could you go ahead and, could Joan go to court and say, I've been taking care of my spoiled husband for 50 years. I want some payment for it?
Yeah, a bit of reparation for it?
Yeah.
Man. Wow. Maybe.
It's worth
Scary
a try.
thought.
It's worth a try, Joan. But, as they say, you'll be kind of, in a way, suing yourself.
Well, yeah. See, that's why it only makes sense if you're, split or separated, right?
Exactly.
Otherwise, then, well, what's kind of the point?
Something to think about.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you could sue for other things, sort of like a balance of labor kind of deal.
If you haven't noticed, folks, there's lawyers for just about everything out there.
Mm-hmm.
Particular subjects that they spend their time on, become experts at. And then you have your lawyers that take care of general needs.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know we don't typically cover civil cases, but if that one comes up in court, you bet I'm there.
That's right. We don't do civil cases. That's one we might cover. So last but not least, I wanted to talk a little bit about an Arizona family finding a bobcat in their living room.
Oh.
Yeah.
They just find it?
Well, they were gone, and when they got home to their house, they got a shock of their lives because they came home to find a bobcat sleeping in the dog's bed.
Cool.
The bobcat got in through an unlocked doggy door.
Huh.
And made itself right at home. The dog wasn't hurt, and the wildcat escaped before Fish and Game officers arrived. Officers also reminded the public not to trap wild animals on their own.
Man, that's That's wild. Are bobcats are they one of those predatory animals that's like skittish of people, or is it more like a lion tiger thing where it's like if it sees you, it's going to try to eat you?
No, I think it's fair to say most people would agree with this. I hope that bobcats, it's kind of unusual to see one.
Oh, so they're really reclusive.
They live in this canyon country,
Yeah.
and in this area. People can go their whole lives and see one or two bobcats. Now, people who hunt them or trap them certainly probably see more than that. But for just, being in the country, you might see a few in your lifetime, unless there's a spot where they hang out all the time and you're in that same area. But they don't usually hang around very long. If you see them, they're just kind of a glimpse of the eye. Once in a while, I think the one that I remember seeing, which was really cool, ran and then stopped and turned and looked back and stayed there for a while so we could enjoy seeing it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But they're not real big. I could see how it could get into a doggy door like that.
Yeah.
They're beautiful animals.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous. And, they prefer not to be around you.
Yeah.
I don't think, now if you tried to get one out, in this case, I don't know how they got it out of the house. You'd want to be real careful about cornering one.
Oh yeah, I bet they get angry real quick if they're backed up.
Domestic cats are, if they don't want to go outside, you can get scratched,
Yeah.
right?
They'll fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's wild.
Now, I have seen a picture of a friend. Where did they live? It wasn't right in this area, but it was in Nebraska, that they sent to us, of a mountain lion on their back porch.
Cool.
Looking through their sliding glass door.
Nice.
That would be wild.
Yeah. So it's on the other side of the door, seeing what you're having for lunch or something.
I guess.
Cool.
Now, that's one that you have to, I think most of the time they will avoid you, but they can be, of course, dangerous. They're a bigger cat, more aggressive. Depends on the situation, I suppose. Most times with animals, I think most of us agree, if we kind of go around them and we give them room and they give us room, we're good to go.
We can get along.
We can get along, but
I always imagine them, in their turf, I'll leave them be. But if they just get into my little square footage of earth, then we have a problem.
Then there'll be a
there'll be a row. Yeah.
Pretty cool though. Those cats are beautiful.
Yeah.
So, did you make a decision on an artist?
Well, I really like music.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I mean?
I'm very interested to see what you select. We may not have it here in our playlist. But.
Well, I know we do have at least one artist that did come to mind for me. Was years and years ago, I was turned on to a song by one of my friends called Baby Missiles by Philadelphia's finest, The War on Drugs. And I know that we have, last year's super, super incredible song, I Don't Live Here Anymore. That's good stuff.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man. All that dude stuff. I heard that the first time and was like, man, what is this? This is so wonderfully produced and just so well written front to back in terms of arrangement, composition, and even just the finished product. I was like, man, I couldn't believe it. And then, to hear something from 2021, which is of course 6 or 7 years after I first heard, Baby Missiles from the early days, it's oh my gosh, this dude just got better.
Well, let's enjoy it.
Oh, spin it.
Here we go. That's a great sound. The War on Drugs and I Don't Live Here Anymore, selected by our own Grant Winter this morning. Good choice.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a killer track.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
All right. One more thing, I think, on our list to talk about this morning, and that is Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership has a couple job openings.
Yeah, they certainly do. They're looking, first of all, for an early childhood infant or toddler cook. It's a full-time position with a starting wage of $13.26 per hour. Got a bunch of benefits, including health, dental, life, and vision, paid time off, an employee assistance program, flexible 4-day working schedule, and opportunities for professional development, and that's only some of them.
Wow.
As the qualifications are a high school diploma or equivalent, a valid Nebraska driver's license, and working phone, and previous experience working with infants 0 to 3 and their families. And what you'll be doing is purchasing food and preparing meals that comply with USDA requirements. And you'll also be responsible for cleaning classrooms and doing dishes and laundry and maintenance in that way. To get an application, you can contact the Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership at 308-745-0780, extension 0, or apply online at centralnebraskacap.com.
Thank you, sir. It is snowing outside.
Yeah.
I wanted to, before we go on with this, remind you that 3 schools that we're aware of starting at 10 o'clock, so about 40 minutes away. Broken Bow School starting at 10, the Thadford School starting at 10, and Stapleton starting at 10 today. Here's more from Grant.
Also from the Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership, the second job we mentioned, they're looking for an early Head Start infant toddler teacher or center specialist. It is also a 40-hour per week position around Broken Bow. The starting pay will be between $20.68 and $22.21 per hour, which is dependent on qualifications. And of course, the benefits we touched on: health, dental, life, and vision insurance, paid time off, 11 paid holidays, and an employer-matched retirement. Qualified individuals must have a valid Nebraska driver's license, a working phone, a child development associate certificate, an associate or bachelor's degree in early childhood education as well. They would prefer experience working with infants and toddlers, income qualifying families, and having some past supervisory experience. This individual will be responsible for center coordination, supervision, and teaching. To learn more, you can contact the Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership's Human Resource Department at 308-745-0780, extension 0, or apply online at centralnebraskacap.com.
All right, thank you very much. A couple of good jobs there. Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
SUVs.
Oh, yeah.
Would you want one?
No.
I don't think I would either. By the way, they're being investigated after the steering wheels are falling off.
That's hilarious.
Yes. Every week there's something wrong with the Tesla. This time they're warning that the steering wheel can come off. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is looking into reports of some of the 2023 Tesla Model Y SUVs that were delivered with a bolt missing from the steering column.
What?
It could mean recalling 120,000 of them to have them checked to make sure the bolt's in there.
You're paying way too much money for a car to not have a bolt. Well, a key bolt.
The steering wheel's kind of important.
I'll say.
Elon Musk, pay attention.
Yeah, well, I guess he's banking on self-driving, so what do you need a steering wheel for?
Do you see a picture of a gal in one of those self-driving cars going down the highway sleeping?
Oh, that's so scary.
Isn't that nuts?
That's so scary.
I think we might be going a little too far with some of that, but that's just me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your chance to win a $25 gift card to the Dairy Queen is coming up, so stay tuned. In the meantime, I'm going to put Grant on the spot. One more song from you?
Oh, let's play let's play Lawyers in Love by Jackson Browne.
You like that one?
I love that song. Why not?
Yeah, I you know what? He is an interesting guy in a lot of ways. happened to see him a couple of times, and the last time was at Lincoln in the outdoor park. And he spent a lot of time at his piano. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But his most recent work is really nice as well.
I don't think I've heard it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I always thought that like some of his best songs were just like written for other people, because I know he was like a songwriter professionally in that way. And then like I started hearing like his own stuff. And it's like, oh, you actually did save some of your really best stuff for yourself, which is cool.
This is a cool song. Jackson Browne, Lawyers in Love. Jackson Browne, Lawyers in Love. Boy, can he hit those high notes.
Yeah.
That was one that blended a couple different styles. I always liked it because it sounded like it went into a 50s feel about then.
Yeah.
And then the rapid drumming with it. Yeah, Jackson Brown. If you ever get a chance, see him. He's going to, I'm sure, be out on tour again. He doesn't ever stop. So give yourself a chance to sit down and enjoy his music. Well, I've enjoyed sitting down and talking music with you and talking about the community, and let's do it again.
I would love nothing less.
All right, now we have a question for you, but first I need to do this little ditty.
Every day brings a new gift card to win. It's officially that time right now.
All right, the question is, we just talked about it, the Tesla. What is missing in the Tesla SUV? If you were listening and know, call us at 872-2801. The call's coming in. Let's find out who we have. Good morning. You're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Hello, Dave. This is Harold.
Harold, how you been? I haven't heard from you for a while.
Still hanging around.
Good man, good man. So is there something missing out of your SUV Tesla, Harold?
There's a bolt missing out of the steering.
Did your steering wheel fall off?
I don't own a Tesla.
You sure?
Sorry. I can't afford one of those.
Oh, I thought, since you kind of retired, you probably had some big bucks stuck away or something. But
well, I'm an old guy like you. You're only 6 days younger than me.
I'm 6 days younger than you?
Yeah.
Well, you old guy, you. Harold, thanks for calling in. Always, thanks for listening. We'll put your name down, and you can come out and pick up your $25 card to be used at the Dairy Queen, you lucky duck.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, take care. All right, Harold Bain. I know Harold pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
He might have an SUV stuffed in the garage somewhere. Just don't doubt it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because
I've got my suspicions, for sure.
All right, we'll take a quick time out. We'll come back and close the show.
AgroLiquid is precision crop nutrition. That means being committed to product performance, to research and field testing, and to superior agronomics. Most of all, AgroLiquid is committed to delivering precisely the right nutrition in the right way, including seed-safe planter plus side dress applications and foliar applications with low burn risk. AgroLiquid. Apply less, expect more. Find a retailer at agroliquid.com. Precision crop nutrition pays. And AgroLiquid has precisely what it takes to help you succeed. The right products plus the right expertise to give you guidance based on your soils, your fields, and your goals. While our clean, seed-safe formulations and lower application rates make planter fertilizer easier than ever. AgroLiquid. Apply less, expect more. Find a retailer at agroliquid.com.
All right, last but certainly not least, we want you to know that we'll be covering SEM today. And we received in our chat box this morning a promo just about that. Sumner Eddyville Miller Mustangs take on the Osceola Bulldogs, and the Osceola varsity basketball team has a neutral playoff game with SEM, and that is today at 10:45. This game is part of the 2023 NSAA State Boys Basketball Championship Class D2 tournament. And Brent Apperson and Jeremy Shipe will be courtside to bring you all the action today right here on KBBN 95.3 FM. Tell your friends they can also listen at kbbn.com online with any of their gadgets. You can also download the free app if you like, and you just touch it and it pops right up, however you want to do it. But they'll be there for you. Again, Grant, thanks for spending time. We hopefully will be doing this again tomorrow together.
Gosh, yeah. If all things go according to plan, it'd be awesome, huh?
It would be great. That would mean SEM would be continuing. And by the way, a big congratulations to Ansley Litchfield for making it to the state tournament and playing hard, and looking forward to following you guys next year.
It's going to be, they got a lot of bright things going for them.
They really do. We'll continue with the breakfast show close. Over on KCNI, we'll get the country music going and more rock for you here on KBBN.